extreme coverage of this wintry weather, starting with KCAL9 meteorologist Evelyn Taft. Evelyn?
Rick, we're taking you outside right now. We're talking about snow in the Grapevine. Not seeing a whole lot at the moment, but we did see some snow over Fraser Park a little earlier tonight, and we're still standing to possibly see a little bit of snow into the overnight hours. It's very cold out there, and snow levels are dropping down to 3,000 feet overnight. Of course, the big question is, will we have enough moisture to produce the snow? Anything that slides through around 3,000 feet and above, probably turning to snow. Just a few leftover flurries. We did get a few flurries earlier today in Wrightwood and Big Bear. Just a few leftovers right there closer to Big Bear Lake. We're going to track the rest of your forecast into the weekend. Still a chance of maybe some rain and snow and very cold numbers. We're going to break it all down for you in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right.
And it has been cold today. It's been cold in this building.
We were talking about our power bills.
Well, because now, you know, after the hot summer,
Yes.
we all of us had those high power bills, electricity.
Yeah.
Right.
And then now the heater's going to kick on.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yep. And tonight, I'm officially getting out the goose down comforter.
Yes, mine's already out.
Is
I've been
it?
using it, but I'm just big on that even when it's hot.
here's the problem, though. Are you
Loop. So we did see some rain, snow, we even saw some hail and thunderstorms, but at the moment it's pretty calm. We're really just looking at a few leftover flurries, and that's pretty much the extent of it tonight. There's still a chance we could catch a flurry or a raindrop here or there, but things are really starting to wind down a bit for us. Next to Big Bear, right by Big Bear Lake, we're already looking at a little bit of snow, but compared to where we were earlier, a lot calmer. We did get a dusting on the ground, and again, there is a chance we could see more of it. We are under a winter weather advisory for our local mountains, and that's going to last through 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So there's a chance of snow lasting through then, but at this point, things are really starting to calm down. As we get a look at your watches and warnings, we're going to continue through here and show you a freeze watch. It's not in effect yet, but it is going into effect for the Antelope Valley, and for most of the high deserts and in our valley locations, we are looking at very cold conditions, sub-freezing temperatures. It's pretty cold out there tonight. We're in the 30s in the Antelope Valley, but we're talking sub-freezing. Right now, there's still a bit of cloud cover, even though there is some clearing out there. What happens is the cloud cover clears out, and we're looking at very calm conditions in the way of wind, and that's when things really start to get cold, and that's what we're going to experience tomorrow. We're going from an onshore pattern to an offshore pattern, so things are going to get a little clearer for us. As a result, they're going to get a little colder Saturday night. Until then, still windy. Wind advisories for parts of the basin, for the metro area, all the way up to the mountains as well through 10 o'clock. And checking in with wind speeds right now, we're in the 10-mile range right there for Riverside, 17 for Lancaster, and 19 for Santa Monica. We're going to take you through the rest of your temperatures and, of course, your extended forecast that's coming up, so don't go away. Back to you.
right, Emma? It'll be
Rick,
freezing.
you really switched that fast on us.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's cold. It is going to be freezing. It's going to be way freezing as we head to tomorrow. We actually have a few freeze warnings, advisories going into effect. We've got a winter storm advisory as well. Not a whole lot going on out there, but we did see some activity earlier and bracing for maybe a few more flurries and showers. Let's get a look at Mount Wilson tonight. You're going to see we are looking at drier conditions, even looking at a little bit of night sky, also a little bit of cloud cover out there. And you're going to see the last 3 hours we did see rain, we did see snow, and things are really starting to calm down for us right now. You'll see barely anything. Big Bear, we zoomed in just a little bit ago, and we did see a few leftover flurries. Now it is pretty dry and pretty calm, but we did get a dusting of snow up there, and we're still in for maybe a chance of more snow. The big story tonight, though, and this weekend is going to be the cool temperatures. We're in the 30s, 40s, 50s right now, 33 already in Wrightwood, so we're almost at freezing. 49 in Pasadena, Lancaster at 45, Van Nuys 51, and 54. That's for downtown. So expecting a very cold night out there. We're still looking at that winter weather advisory in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Not a whole lot of activity right now, but we could stand to see another flurry or drop. Not going to rule that out of the question. A freeze watch in effect. You're going to see that's going to stay in effect through Sunday. It doesn't kick in until tomorrow night, but we are expecting sub-freezing temperatures in the high desert, and we're still dealing with a wind advisory that's staying in effect through 10 o'clock tonight for the mountains, parts of the high desert, and even take a look, the basin, Long Beach, downtown, Oxnard along the Ventura County coastline affected, and Torrance as well, looking at windy conditions. You'll see windy conditions as we get a look at current wind speeds, 19 miles an hour in Lancaster, 16 in the Apple Valley, 10 for Burbank, 13 for downtown, and sustained winds in Long Beach currently at 23 miles an hour. So not looking at a whole lot of rain. In fact, maybe a tenth of an inch max at this point. A snow level still dropping to 3,000 feet steep, but the big question is, will there be enough snow to even fall around there? We did get a little bit of snow through the Grapevine, closer to Fraser Park earlier tonight, though. A little bit of rain snow mix there. We are drying out tomorrow, and we are expecting the first freeze of the season, as we mentioned. So sub-freezing temperatures out there tonight, even cooler as we head into tomorrow night. For the valleys and the Inland Empire, cold as we head into this weekend. 60s eventually turning to 70s, and a much warmer forecast flirting with the 80s by Tuesday. Increasing cloud cover by Wednesday. And let me just tell you a little secret. We're bracing for maybe another chance of rain later in the week, Thursday and Friday. We will continue to track that for you as we move through next week. And finally, for the coast, 60s turning to 70s by next week. Back to you.
Thanks.
And Sylvia, things are dwindling down a little bit, but there's still a chance we could see more of it as we head into the next few hours here. We're taking a look outside from our Sierra camera, actually. But we're looking at a little bit of cloud cover out there, even a little bit of night sky and very cold temperatures heading into the first freeze of the season. We're getting a look at radar. This is our 3-hour loop. So in the last couple of hours, we did see a bit of rain, a bit of snow, and a bit of mix right there. But you'll see things have really started to calm down compared to where we were earlier. A little bit of rain, snow mix closer to Big Bear, but really not a whole lot. Closer to Running Springs, we did get a few flurries. Now things have really calmed down. I want to show you the big picture because we are mostly done with the system, but there's still a little bit of rain and snow sitting to our north. So we could potentially still stand to get this into the overnight hours, and our chances for rain and snow dwindling by tomorrow afternoon. After that, we're just expecting a very cold forecast. It's even pretty cold out there right now. We are in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, expecting to see sub-freezing temperatures over the next couple of days. Spots like the Antelope Valley getting down to the 30s tonight. Wrightwood already down to 32. You are right at freezing. 49 in Pasadena, 54 right now in downtown, and 59, that's for Long Beach. We're dealing with a few advisories and warnings out there. We've got a winter weather advisory still in effect through tomorrow afternoon, so not ruling snow out of the question for the mountains there. Also for the high desert, we're looking at a freeze watch. That kicks in tomorrow night. It lasts through 8 o'clock Sunday morning. We're expecting sub-freezing temperatures, calmer winds, and that offshore pattern is going to kick in. So with that, we'll see clearer conditions. And usually the combination of all three lead to sub-freezing temperatures. We've got a little bit of cloud cover out there insulating us, so it won't be quite as cold tonight compared to what we're going to see tomorrow night. Still dealing with wind advisories until 10 o'clock. Spots like Long Beach, downtown, Oxnard, Torrance affected. Pretty windy conditions out there. Long Beach, 23-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and Lancaster currently coming in at 17. We're going to have the rest of that weekend forecast, a warm up next week, and another chance of rain on the way. All the details in a bit. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. Exactly. There always is, right? It's never kind of one way for a while. Whatever goes up must come down. Whatever's down must go back up again. And that's essentially what's happening in our forecast a little later. And we're going to show you exactly what to expect coming up in a minute. But first, we're taking you outside, and as we do, to Long Beach. It is very cold out there. We are dealing with some cloud cover and windy conditions at the coast as well. 50 degrees, that's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. In the last few hours, we did see a few showers, a few snow flurries, nothing major though. So at this point, it does look somewhat dry, but we're not ruling out the chance of a shower or a flurry in the overnight hours into tomorrow. Still looking at a few snow flurries along the 38, closer to Big Bear there, but nothing major. We did get a dusting earlier, and we did see some snow in Wrightwood. We could see more. Take a look. A little bit of rain and snow sitting to our north and offshore. So we're not completely done with this yet. We're still bracing for that chance. Rain totals over the last couple of days, not too impressive. Downtown, about 1/100 of an inch. Long Beach, over 1/10 of an inch. Burbank, not Burbanks, Burbank, 5/100 of an inch. Pacoima, just over 1/10 of an inch. Laguna Hills, almost a quarter. And San Bernardino, just under half an inch. We've got a winter weather advisory in store until 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so we could get a few inches up in the higher elevations there. We're also looking at a wind advisory in effect through 10 o'clock tonight. Pretty windy out there. And a freeze watch going into effect tomorrow. That's tomorrow night, lasting through Sunday at 8 a.m. for spots like Lake Los Angeles, Lancaster, Palmdale, Quartz Hill. We're expecting sub-freezing temperatures, and tonight already getting very close. In fact, at freezing in Wrightwood at 32, the Apple Valley at 41, Lancaster 45, set to get colder tonight, and Valencia at 43 degrees. We were talking about the wind advisories. We're looking at 17-mile-an-hour sustained winds in Lancaster, 23 in Long Beach, Santa Monica, 17 in Burbank, and Santa Clarita, both at 11 miles an hour. We're jumping ahead to your 5-day forecast. The Basin in Orange County, very cold, plenty of sunshine by Sunday and warmer by next week. Same thing goes for the coast. We're drying out, and then we're finally warming up. I will tell you, by the end of next week, we're eyeing another chance of rain, and we will continue to track that over the next couple of days. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. And we're looking at some leftover showers and snow showers as well. We'll have the details coming right up.
Yeah, that's a big deal here too in this town.
40 years, so it's great.
That's very cool.
So this weather, we're loving it, but you say that, you
Yeah.
know, don't put the t-shirts away yet? Seriously?
Seriously.
We've been saying that for a long time.
I know.
right?
You really got to just keep both wardrobes going.
Right.
So
Two chests of drawers.
really, seriously,
Right.
it'd be nice to clear out the sweaters or clear out the flip-flops
one
and
or
the
the
bathing
other.
suits, but you got to keep them
Not
on
yet.
hand. Yeah,
Okay.
not yet. It's pretty amazing stuff. It's really cold. It's going to be the first freeze of the season, actually, something we haven't seen since we started off fall. So it's pretty exciting here. So we're going to show you exactly how cold it's going to get. And of course, our loop, we have seen just a few showers and snow showers, very minor over the last few hours. Things are starting to wind down. There's a little bit of rain and snow to our north, so overnight we could continue to get a few flurries just like we are now. It got a little drier in Big Bear. Now we're looking at a few flurries near Big Bear Lake and in Running Springs. We're getting just a few flurries at the moment as well. As we zoom out a little bit, just want to show you what's going on to our north. Not a whole lot, but you are seeing some rain, some thunderstorms, and a little bit of snow, so that could translate into our forecast overnight into tomorrow. We do have that winter weather advisory in effect until 12 o'clock in the afternoon for the mountains. We also have a wind advisory currently in effect through 10 o'clock tonight. Another 25 minutes to go, 26 minutes to be exact. You'll see watches and warnings. We've got a freeze watch kicking in tomorrow night, lasting through 8 o'clock Sunday morning. We're expecting sub-freezing temperatures, clear conditions, and pretty calm conditions wind-wise, leading to the sub-freezing numbers out there. We've got a leftover shower overnight into tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, it's drier. Snow levels are still at 3,000 feet. We've got very cold air filtering in. Remember, this storm was generated up in the Gulf of Alaska. That's why it was such a cold storm. It's bringing in such cold air with it. We are drying out tomorrow, and as we mentioned earlier, we are looking ahead to the first freeze of the season as we head into tomorrow night. And even tonight, we're seeing some very close to freezing temperatures. Earlier today, we made it to 65 in downtown. Average is 75, so we were 10 degrees below average, and we're going to continue to stay below average as we head into tomorrow. You'll see right here, maybe a spotty shower or so in the morning hours potentially, and by the afternoon, we're expecting clearer conditions. Also, maybe a chance of a snow flurry potentially in the mornings in the mountains. But remember, those snow elevations are very low at 3,000 feet. Highs tomorrow, not too impressive. We're not getting too warm, and we are pretty cool. 64 in downtown Ontario, 63, Irvine 65, Oxnard 62, and Lancaster at a chilly 51 degrees. Those look like forecast lows, but they are in fact your forecast highs. Futurecast showing you pretty dry conditions through the morning hours, even though we are eyeing just a few raindrops offshore and to our north over in Kern County, but we could potentially catch a few drops in the afternoon. We're not ruling it out of the question. I would say by 2 o'clock, though, it's really looking pretty dry, and we're keeping things dry through tomorrow. Then the pattern turns offshore. It goes from onshore to offshore. What happens then? We're going to clear out, but as we clear out, we still have the cool air in place. So with that, we will see some very cold overnight temperatures tomorrow in the mountains. Single-digit numbers, 8 degrees, then the 20s, then the 30s, and for the deserts, 50s and 60s, turning to 70s. For the basin, Orange County, we're in the upper 70s by next week, and inland spots also hitting close to 80. Back to you.
All right.
Rick, we're tracking a very cold forecast. In fact, 50 degrees, that's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. And that's warm compared to some of our mountain locations in the deserts as well. Radar over the last 3 hours, not showing you a whole lot, but we're still bracing for maybe a chance of a leftover shower and a leftover snow flurry. A closer look at Big Bear, where we've seen just a few flurries, nothing major, but a dusting out there. We are expecting maybe a few inches in the higher elevations. I'd say above 5,000 feet or so, around 4,500 feet. That's where a winter weather advisory kicks in. Could see a few inches and could see a dusting around 3,000 feet. The bigger picture showing you a little bit of rain and snow to our north that could make its way into our forecast. We'll break it all down for you, and we'll have all of those cold numbers and a warm up in store coming up in just a bit. Rick and Sharon, back to you. I've busted out my down comforter already. I'm going for the down and the wool on top of that. Maybe the heater too, Sharon?
I don't know, that's a little much.
Heater, definitely heater.
I get cold easily. Yeah, it's going to be cold. We actually have our first freeze of the season. And then temperatures are warming up next week. No, not to the triple digits as we were just mentioning, but potentially close to the 80s. So let's get a look outside right now. And as we do, our Mount Wilson camera, looking pretty nice out there. A little bit of night sky, a little bit of cloud cover, and very cold. We're at degrees. That's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. Over the last few hours, we did see Just a little bit of snow here and there, not a whole lot, a little bit of rain, pretty minimal, but we're still in for that chance overnight into the morning hours, and we're done by the afternoon. Big Bear actually getting a few more flurries, a few more flakes right now. Running Springs getting a little bit as well. As we look at the big picture, you're going to see a little bit of rain and snow sitting to our north. We could stand to see this into the overnight morning hours, but we're starting to wind down here a little bit. Your 2-day rainfall totals, not too impressive for downtown, about 1/100 of an inch. Pacoima at about, you'll see a little over 1/10 of an inch, and San Bernardino just under half an inch of rain. So take a look right here, your watches and your warnings. You'll see a winter weather advisory. That's going to be in effect through 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the mountains. So we do stand to see a little more snow. Then a wind advisory that was extended actually for the high desert. You will see though for the basin, and it has expired. That was in effect until 10 o'clock. As we head over to the Antelope Valley and high desert, we are looking at very cold conditions. 30s tonight. By tomorrow, we're talking upper 20s, so no surprise that we do have a freeze watch kicking in tomorrow night, lasting through Sunday morning. Currently, temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, below freezing in Wrightwood, where we just saw Louisa at 31 degrees, 45 in San Bernardino, 49 in Riverside, 57 in Anaheim, and 59 in Laguna Beach. Wind-wise, 9-mile-an-hour winds in Lancaster, 11 miles an hour in Long Beach, and you will see leftover shower snow levels down to 3,000 feet. We're drying out tomorrow, and we are expecting the first freeze of the season. In terms of snow totals, we could see a few inches above maybe 6,000 feet, around resort level potentially at the highest peaks. But at 3,000 feet, just a dusting. But it is that cold where snow levels are really starting to drop fast. 65 earlier today in downtown, 75 average, so we were below average. We could stand to see a shower tonight and maybe a leftover shower in the morning. By the afternoon, we're much drier, but we are still cool at 64 for downtown. A quick look at your 5-day forecasts right here. Your mountains still expecting 30s, 40s, up to the 50s later in the week, and we are expecting drier conditions across the board tomorrow. For the deserts, we're warming up as well, and for the basin in Orange County, 60s and 70s, close to the 80s by your Tuesday. And for the valleys in the Inland Empire, we're talking 60s and then up to the upper 70s by Tuesday, but very cool as we head into tomorrow and first part of your Sunday. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
I can't keep track.